making this announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, laws of the state of New Jersey. Thank you. Excuse me. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2021. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of the schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall. And has mailed true copies of the schedule to the local source, the Star Ledger, and the Home News Tribune, and is maintaining a copy of the schedule in her office during the year 2022. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Please stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Ciceri?
Here.
Councilman David? Here. Councilman Fitzgerald?
Here.
Councilman Pence?
Here.
Councilman Puglisi?
Here.
Councilman Zimmerman?
Here.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the council meetings of June 1st, 2022 and July 13th, 2022?
Motion. Second. Do we have a second?
Motion made by Councilman Fenestrella, seconded by Councilman Puglisi. All in favor?
Aye.
Department reports were received for July from all the departments.
Is there a motion to accept communications and reports?
Make a motion.
Motion made by Councilman Zimmerman, seconded by Councilman Pence. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll move along to the finance report. Councilman Puglisi.
Thank you, Mayor. You'll see tonight on the agenda, we'll be adopting the budget. I wasn't here at the last council meeting when it was introduced with work obligations, but however, I appreciate Joe reading the statement of the Finance Committee describing the budget, and I won't go through it again, but I just want to state that it was a difficult task. It was something that Mark, Joe, and myself, we worked on tirelessly, and with our CFO and Lisa, Ken, our CFO, and Lisa, and I thank them for their hard work on this. I also thank the department heads who trimmed the budgets, and there was a lot of give and take with all departments, with the police department, DPW, and as a result, we were able to put forth I believe, a responsible budget. That's not also. That's also including that that we received less than $115,000 less in revenue this year than we did in previous years, and even with that, we didn't touch the surplus, and also our spending only increased by 1%. And I say only because we have contractual obligations that require us to give 2% raises to many of the employees. And also, as part of the Finance Committee, we have here two ordinances reflective of the personnel, oversight of the personnel. Again, that was after long discussions with council and the Finance Committee. I believe overall this is a move forward for us, given many situations that we have. We streamlined a couple conflicting ordinances, and again, that is a part of the problem, is that we had conflicting ordinances, conflicting chapters, but we had to make them congruous. So, and we had a 4-hour session on Thursday. We had a 1 to 2 hour session on Friday. And then ultimately after Friday's session, our council had to retouch it up again, leading to the two ordinances that you see on the agenda tonight. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Puglisi. Department of Public Works, Councilman David.
Thank you, Mayor. DPW responded to emergency after-hours on-call services for a total of 24 hours. I think some of it was in front of the church on Washington Avenue. A couple of the trees fell down, had to be trimmed up. Superintendent would like to recognize Mr. Joseph Santangelo, DPW employee of the month for July 2022. Mr. Santangelo continues to promote productivity within our Sanitation Department. We'd also like to recognize Teresa for 2 years of service as of July 2022. Another note, the Lewis Wood Memorial Park remains closed for upgrades. They have completed Phase 1 and Phase 2, which included demo, building repairs, tree removal, surface grading, and irrigation. A total of 40 trees were planted to mimic the existing trees that were there. We are on schedule with PSE&G for the service relocation and pole removal, milling and installation of the footings for the new basketball hoops is scheduled for the week of September 5th. Paving to follow, and the playground equipment has been received. Please be advised that during this process, the playground equipment, basketball court, and restroom facilities will be closed. The ball fields will remain open. Going down to Marriott Park, the ball field and restrooms are closed. While the playground will remain open from dawn to dusk. Improvements consist of complete exterior building rehabilitation, concession stand addition, and utility upgrades. This project correlates with the new softball and soccer field installation. Groundwork commenced 8/15, while the building improvement portion is slated for September 5th. Also on the note of Marriott Park, there's been a lot of chatter on exit 138, wondering what's going on, why all these trees are being cut down. Trees are being removed due to the soccer and softball fields, also safety factors as far as being over top of the actual building there, that they had to replace some things, so they trimmed the trees down. And any kind of tree that was in a dangerous condition, with over the swings and everything, they trimmed them and cut them down. So that's why the trees are being removed. And they also refreshed the mini park, which is at Coolidge Drive and Lincoln Drive. Improved vegetation, removed what was necessary. The gazebo was cleaned, then the supports were repaired. They added new stones to surround, and fresh mulch to complete. They also added 3 new trash receptacles at the property. And that's all they have.
Thank you, Councilman David. Department of Public Safety, Councilman Zimmerman.
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of July, the Kennewick Police Department responded to 1,267 calls for service, and there were 171 911 calls. There were a total of 73.5 hours of overtime, which was primarily for scheduled patrol overtime due to the summer, and dispatch overtime, 12 hours. When I say the summer, due to vacation. Excuse me, there were a total of 165 traffic summonses issued and 620 hours of training for July. The majority of the training was for our 3 new recruits that just graduated the police academy, and they were doing field training and post-training, which is worth a total of 540 hours. The department also conducted 44 hours of in-house defensive tactics for officers, and the training was in accordance with the New Jersey Attorney General's use of force guidelines that they put out. There was 1 sick day for the month and 2 separate sick occurrences for the month. Since the last council meeting, there have been 9 additional separate incidents of thefts of catalytic converters from vehicles. Excuse me. The thefts have primarily been in the industrial section of town, around Market Street and Michigan Avenue, but several have been in residential areas on the north side of town, on 14th, 19th, and 24th Streets. In all, but 1 case, the victims' vehicles were Honda passenger cars or SUVs. The other vehicle was a Nissan work van. From intelligence received from the Regional Operations Center in Trenton from the State Police, it appears this is an ongoing organized ring of criminals committing these thefts. They're targeting Hondas due to the difficulty of obtaining parts for Hondas on the secondary market, and the markup for catalytic converters is tremendous right now. Most other towns around us have also been hit with the uptick in thefts as well. Kennewick Police Department has put out extra patrols and undercover vehicles with specific attention to our industrial areas and the north side of town where these thefts are occurring. Residents are reminded to contact the Kenilworth Police Department as soon as possible if they see anything suspicious or out of the ordinary. On Tuesday, August 2nd, the Kenilworth Police Department held our annual National Night Out Against Crime celebration. It was held in the municipal parking lot next to police headquarters. They had a great turnout of approximately 250 to 300 residents who came out despite the hot weather and enjoyed pizza and ice cream, and the opportunity to meet our police officers, along with county workers and the firefighters in town and EMS.
It was a really nice event.
Very nice event. The kids enjoyed the inflatable bouncy house and obstacle course, and got to meet our newer officers and see the many different vehicles from the Kenilworth Police Department, Kenilworth Fire Department, which the sirens and air horns were going, which was, watching the smile on the kid's face was great, and the rescue squad, as well as receiving handouts from the Union County Prosecutor's Office and Sheriff's Department. Chief Seuss would like to say kudos to Detective Mike Scaniello and School Resource Officer Brian Picton for their hard work in organizing the event. On August 8th, Kenilworth Police Officer Dominic Rosselli conducted a motor vehicle stop in the area of North Michigan Avenue and Jefferson Avenue. Officer Rosselli recognized one of the occupants as an East Orange resident that he had prior dealings with prior to coming to Kenilworth when he was an East Orange police officer. Officer Riccelli was able to conduct a search of the vehicle, which produced a Walter PPK .22 caliber handgun with a high-capacity magazine and a box of ammunition. The suspect was charged with unlawful possession of a weapon and unlawful possession of a high-capacity magazine and remanded to the Union County Jail. Officer Riccelli is commended for his excellent police work in arresting a dangerous criminal and getting an illegal weapon off the street. I know in the past we've done an Officer of the Month, and in speaking with Chief Seuss, his opinion was that we always don't have somebody that rises to the Officer of the Month, so we decided after coming to a decision and conversing back and forth about doing a quarterly officer. And then after we have the 4 quarters every year, we'll come up with an Officer of the Year.
Nice.
So it's going to be, instead of monthly, it's going to be quarterly. And I think Officer Riccelli's job is definitely at the top of the list right now for getting a gun off the street for our next quarterly outstanding police officer. Chief Seuss advised me that the dog licenses are going well with our dog warden. He's been out there. He went from 14 pages to 1 page, you said? Or
Down to half a page.
down to a half a page. So he's been out there, he's been coming in, you said, every week?
At least once a week he's been in.
At least once a week, he's been coming in, and he's been on top of it, and he's almost down to nothing at this point, so he's doing a great job. Also, I spoke to Travis Stiltz, who is the president of the Kenilworth PBA, and the Kenilworth PBA Bash has been changed to September 10th now of 2022, so that's going to be coming up right after our next meeting, which is the 7th. And T-shirts are your admission to the PBA Bash. Like I said previously, there's no softball game this year. It's just purchasing a shirt, which are for sale at the carnival this week in the back near the beer tent. They're $25, and that's your admission to get into the Bash. And they haven't decided yet what charity they're going to donate money to from the proceeds of the admission. And if you're unable to go to the carnival, you're on vacation this week, you can always come into police headquarters and they will contact somebody and they will get you a shirt for $25.
And it's September 10th.
That is September 10th.
What is the time?
I don't know if they said 3 p.m. 3 p.m. on September 10th.
Okay. Thank you.
And last but not least, excuse me, the Silver Car Dinner is slated for October 2022, coming up. No date has been set yet. They're between two dates due to some conflicts. It's going to be held at the Garlic Rose in Cranford, like it's been in the past. And this year's honorees are John Hartman from Jersey Landscape and Rich Paserno from Paserno Giordano Construction. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. You'll get the dates for us for that when...
Yeah, it hasn't been said yet, but once we get the dates, it's far off, it's October at this point, but I'll let everybody know once we know.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, planning and zoning, Councilman Finestrella.
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of July, the construction report shows that we took in a total of $50,149 in fees. Broken down, that is $43,351 for building fees, $5,078 of which were trust estate fees, and $1,720 miscellaneous fees. The next meeting is slated for the second Thursday of September, September 8th, 6:30 work session, 7 p.m. meeting. Currently, there is no applications, so we're not sure if there will be one, but that's when it's slated. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Finestrella. Recreation and Fire, Councilman Pence.
Thank you, Mayor. Recreation report. This past week, there was for the Summer Parks program, there's a bus trip to Franklin Museum. This Thursday and Friday, there's going to be, on Thursday specifically, a Tex-Mex barbecue for the kids with the bouncy house and all the others. And also another barbecue on Friday to end the summer recreation program.
Nice.
Fire department report, July they had 33 calls, 4 were mutual aids, and the rescue squad had 44 calls. And I'd also like to extend my condolences to the Kruger family and the fire department and EMS on the passing of Dana Kruger.
It's awful. So sad. Thank you,
That's all.
Councilman Pence. Health, Education, and Human Services, Councilwoman Cesari.
I have just a couple of announcements for the library with their programs that they have going on. I'll start with the adult programming. Thursday, August 18th and September 1st, the Arnie's program will be held from 2 to 4 p.m. Thursday, August 25th, nighttime Arnie's will be held from 6 to 8. Tuesday, September 6th, the Paper Pals will be held from 2 to 4 p.m. Children's programming require registration as spaces are limited. Kenilworth families can call the library at 908-276-2451 to register 1 week prior to the program. There's a number of programs that they will be having starting August 18th, going into the end of August, even September. So you can check the website for all the different times and dates that various things will be going on. That's all for the library. The Board of Health, I have not been to a meeting because we're in summer recess, so I will have a report I look forward to September's meeting, and I will have a report in September sometime.
Thank you.
Don't know first or last, but... And the Board of Ed, I'm pleased to announce Harding Elementary School is going to mark its 100th year, so the community members are invited to pack a picnic and play low-tech games when they come out to the Harding 100 and Up celebration on Wednesday, August 31st, 6 to 8 p.m. There is a rain date of September 1st. All residents are welcome to join. They will be having a historian, Dr. Walter Bowright, will speak about the history of the elementary school and its construction. Harding is also offering the Harding 100 and Up celebration also will include District Longtime School Business Administrator Vincent Ganella leading building tours that include the original areas of the auditorium. He also will display artifacts from the school's civil defense room, where students were to take shelter in the event of an atomic attack during the Cold War. Also, board games will be done that visitors can play. Visitors are also encouraged to bring their own games in addition to a picnic dinner. Ice cream truck with treats will be available for purchase, and Harding will be holding other events throughout the year to celebrate, their 100th anniversary of the school being a school. Okay, and that's really all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cesari. Okay, next for council consideration is the consent agenda for resolutions 183 to 188, which will be provided by one motion. These items will be recorded individually in the minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Okay, motion made by Councilman Finestrello and seconded by Councilman Zimmerman. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Cesari?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrello?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
And Councilman Zimmerman?
Yes.
Excuse me, Mayor. I'm going to move on to the one item. The mayor has expressed an interest to have the acting clerk receive a stipend, Kathy Machetta, for the period of August 15th until we have an active clerk start with the borough. This is an additional stipend of $200. At this point in time, I'd like to see if anybody on the council would like to make a motion to adopt a resolution for this.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
You want to take a roll call?
Councilwoman Cesari?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrello?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
Councilman Zimmerman?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Okay. We're going, as you know, the budget is being passed tonight. I'd like to ask our CFO to come up and make a statement regarding the budget, explaining the increase and how it will affect the average home.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
The average house assessed at $183,400 will receive a municipal increase, which includes the library, of $104.36 this year. I do want to note a couple things already mentioned. We did lose another $115,000 in revenues from this year to last year. On a positive note, for the first time in 12 years, we received an increase in state aid of just under $52,000. However, it's nowhere near what they were originally anticipating we were supposed to get.
Right.
We did use $2 million in surplus again, out of a possible $3.2 million of cash surplus. The committee decided that they did not want to increase that, and I agreed with them due to the pending, well, not pending, the MERP tax appeal that went through, which is going to be estimated to cost $1,336,750 this year. Gunther, just as a side note, will be sending an email out to you tomorrow to see, since part of the deal was Merck said they were selling the property within 45 days, and they didn't.
This is regarding the settlement, so we can discuss this at a separate time.
Okay, sorry. So we're also, as was mentioned, the appropriations is an increase of just under $180,000, which is 1%. So it's a very lean budget expenditure-wise, and we are looking at any ways possible to increase revenues for next year. Revenues is one of the areas of concern for Kenilworth. With the loss of revenues coming up, the American Rescue Plan will be gone next year. That's another $428,000. So right off of the bat, you're looking at a loss of $800,000 in revenues between the tax appeal and the American Rescue Plan funds gone. So if everything stayed the same next year, you're already $800,000 increase in taxes. The other problem you have is, I don't know if you heard the news about state health benefits. You are in state health benefits for the medical portion. They're talking about almost a 25% increase this year.
It's crazy.
And unfortunately, it's contractual negotiations, so it's not very easy to switch quickly. But we have several areas. We'll be meeting with Finance Committee. We need to start getting the ball rolling. I know I was delayed this year in getting this to you earlier, but we have to get capital done, and we have to start looking at next year. So
Well, I know the construction department, zoning enforcer, Mr. Mangusa, said he was going to compare our fees, construction fees.
Yeah, I had forwarded you, because he had sent it out, so with your permission, if you're okay, if the committee's okay, I'll send it to Gunther to get an ordinance to get those fees, to get them
Yes,
increased as soon as
definitely.
possible. So that's where we stand right now, and overall, just so the estimated rate with the school, county, and us, for the average house at $183,400, you're looking at $249.89 increase, 2.61%. So that's where this is at. The only thing I request is, after the public hearing, you can't vote on the budget until we adopt the ordinance increasing the cap bank, which is 22... Sorry. 2022-10. That ordinance has to be voted on and approved before you can vote on the budget.
Okay, we'll do
Okay.
that next.
Thank you very much. Any questions? I'm sorry, any questions?
Okay, thank you. Okay, is,
Two ordinances.
yeah, I'm going to do the 2022-10 first. Is there a motion to open the floor for public discussion on ordinance 2022-10?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Puglisi, seconded by Councilman Pence. All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have anything to say on this ordinance and this ordinance only? Please come forward and state your name and address. Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the floor for public discussion and adopt ordinance 2022-10?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Fenestrella, seconded by Councilman Zimmerman. All in favor?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cesari?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
And Councilman Zimmerman.
Yes.
Second ordinance is 2022-11 for introduction.
We're going to do the budget, and then I'll go to, okay? Okay, is there a motion to open the floor for public discussion on the 2022 municipal budget only?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Zimmerman, seconded by Councilman Puglisi. All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have anything to say regarding the 2022 municipal budget? Please come forward and state your name and address. Okay, seeing no one, is there a motion to close the floor for public discussion on the 2022 municipal budget?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there a motion to adopt the 2022 municipal budget?
But you're going to have to adopt the ordinance first?
We
Right
did
here.
that. Ordinance.
Nope.
We just
Yeah, we did that already.
We didn't do, here, right here.
did 10.
10 was the cap. Okay, my apologies.
Yeah, you did that already. So this is a resolution, right? Gunther, the resolution now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't have the resolution number in front of me, my apologies.
Resolution 191, adoption of the 2022 municipal budget. Be hereby resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Kenilworth, County of Union, State of New Jersey, herein after the governing body, that the budget set forth and heard publicly at the regular meeting of August 17, 2022 is hereby adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes stated in the sums therein set forth as appropriations and authorization amount of $13,070,165. Did I say that? I said that wrong. $13,070,165. Sorry.
That's okay. It's a lot of, it's a big number. Okay, is there a motion to adopt the 2022 municipal budget?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Puglisi, seconded by Councilman Fenestrella. Roll call.
Councilwoman Cesari?
Yes.
Councilman David? Yes. Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
And Councilman Zimmerman?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to do 2022-11. We went out of order.
Ordinance 2022-11 for introduction, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 5, Administration of Government, Article 5, Appointed Officials, subsection 42, Personnel Supervisor, and subsection 43, Administrative Officer of the Code of the Borough of Kenilworth.
Is there a motion to approve the introduction of ordinance 2022-11?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Puglisi, seconded by Councilman Finestrello.
Councilwoman Ciceri?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrello?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
And Councilman Zimmerman?
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-12 for introduction, and ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 37, Personnel Policies, Part 1, General Personnel Practices, Article 1, Procedures to Adopt Personnel Practices, and Part 2, Policies and Procedures, Articles 2 through 7 of the Code of the Borough of Kenilworth.
Is there a motion to approve the introduction of ordinance 2022-12?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Puglisi, seconded by Councilman Finestrello.
Councilwoman Ciceri?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrello?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi?
Yes.
And Councilman Zimmerman?
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Zimmerman, seconded by Councilman Puglisi. All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have anything to say for the good and well-being of Kenilworth? Please come forward and state your name and address. Okay, seeing no one, is there a motion to close the floor for public discussion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Zimmerman, seconded by Councilman Pence. All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have anything else to say for the good and welfare of the borough?
Just ask the residents to come out and support our fire department. This is their major fundraiser every year, the Kenilworth Carnival. So it goes through Saturday, which is the last night. They have some wristband nights, they have good Zeppelis and food and rides. Please come out and support them.
Absolutely.
And make sure you get involved in the 50/50. The drawing will be on, for the big drawing will be Saturday night, I believe, at 8 or 10 o'clock.
Yep. Okay, if there's nothing else to be brought before the council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Finestrello, seconded by Councilman Zimmerman. All in favor? Aye.